are listening to The Decision Reel.
Locked in. We're locked in here.
And hard cocked.
Thanks for tuning in to the Decision Reel Movie Review Podcast, where the reels always fall off. I'm your host, Steve. With me this week is just Walter.
I am the co-host.
Who happens to be my best friend.
Yeah. I can't pilot, but I can't navigate either.
I can navigate the seas, but just not good enough.
Big Dipper, Little Dipper. That's it. That's all he's got. A little North Star action. That's it.
I like it. Well, for what I was trying to cue into there, being best friends, we're going to look at a movie today that's about best friends, I guess. Can I
tell you something, Steve?
Oh, God. What?
I love you, man.
I love you, man, too. Look at that. Oh, they should make a sequel. I love you, man, too.
Oh.
Oh.
Just like as in continue, like also?
Yeah. Just like it's the next.
Would you TW that?
Yeah. No, well,
you know what I'm saying?
No, it would be TOO. It has to be.
I know grammatically it'd be
right.
or like, but.
Well, you just put the number 2.
It's the second one.
You just put the number 2.
I love you, man, too.
Or you have.
I don't think there's enough smart people to know that.
You have Jason Segel pointing, right? And going, I love you, man.
I'm in. I'm locked
Look
in.
at us. Look at us doing stuff. I like it. Before the reels do fall off, like they always do, but there's only 2 of us today. It might not fall off as easy, or it might fall off even worse.
Yeah. Why am I so red again? I
don't know.
Did you do this because the other guys are so white? I love you, Tara and Randall, but you guys are like super white.
I actually took off all the color correction on that camera, so there's no reason why you're still red.
So is this the booze?
You don't look as red as you do up there. Now, okay, hold on. It could just be the monitor. We'll have to see when it comes out.
I'm just gonna stare at the camera.
Just stare at it. Do it. That's a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm creeped out. Again, if you're listening just on the podcast, you can find us on YouTube and look at our pretty faces while we review our movies here. Yep. Also, you can find us on our social media pages at The Decision Reel. As Wally said last week or the week before, we're everywhere, baby.
I'm wearing the panties you can get on the Decision Reel merch website.
It's a secret URL that you have to go to find.
He's got it.
Not gonna. It might be Wally's panties or something in a URL, but you gotta find
from
it.
Down Undies.
Ooh, I like that.
I just made that up.
That's good. That could be a new T-shirt.
I do my best work on the fly.
Fundies from Down Undies. If
if
Randy was here, he did buy the Nuts, Butts, and Coconuts T-shirt, which is a new one. We got a new T-shirt out.
That was me again.
That was this guy. We do have the merch on our website, which is www. Is that too many W's? www.thedecisionreel.com. There you can find the merch tab. Click on the store. Find the merch. You can get 10% off with the code REEL10. And, buy some shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Look at us.
Anyways, this movie, bro.
I love you, man. Let's get into it. It is a fun ride.
I want to go to random house openings, and I want to just go there and pretend that I'm interested and eat hors d'oeuvres.
Right, eat the sandwiches.
That's all this movie made. That and a Rush cover band. Those are the 2 things that this movie makes me want to do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Holy Triumphant.
I would do 2112 beginning to end.
Oh, my God.
It would take a long time.
We would die doing it.
You would die doing it.
Yeah. We'll playing the old drums. Be an old Neil Peart.
So you know about all his shit, right? Like he wrote the music.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. So it is
shit?
really crazy when you break down Rush, and there's a lot of people out there who are like, Rush is overrated or not good, bro.
Yeah, and you're fucking wrong.
You are wrong. Just because a lot of people are like, I can't get over Geddy Lee's voice. Okay, listen to the songs
like
that don't.
Fucking demon.
But not only that, listen to the songs that don't even have lyrics. Listen to YYZ and tell me that's not amazing. He
plays the organ with his feet
while playing the bass and singing.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing.
You can't tell me that Rush is not one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Trio.
Okay, trio. We'll get into that in a second.
Rock bands or bands of all time.
The best trio band? Probably them. But I'm saying not the most musically talented bands. Like where all 3 members are at the S tier
for their
of
era
their
too,
instrument.
Right? So you got to think things have gotten immensely more complicated and more math rocky, but those guys are pioneers of that shit.
Exactly. They started that wearing
Yeah,
their
it's
fucking
amazing.
silk kimonos and shit,
Yeah,
coming
if I
out
have
with
to-
mustaches.
Weird time signatures and shit. Dope, spacey, mystical themes.
And yeah,
It's cool,
yeah.
man.
In any one of their songs, yeah, it sounds like Rush, but they're completely different.
All right, you and I, real quick, back and forth. Top 3 or maybe top favorite trios of all time.
Of all time.
All time.
Oof.
And there's a lot that you don't even know about when you
Right,
think about
yeah.
it, right? A lot of bands are so good as a trio, you don't know. I'll go. You want me to go?
Okay,
I'll,
you go,
I'll,
you
I'll
go,
do
you
some.
go.
I'll do some honorable mentions real quick, right? So Jimi Hendrix and then
Sure.
Steve Ray Vaughan, whatever. I'm a guitar player. I eat that shit up for breakfast. Muse.
Oh, you don't think about Muse.
Muse is amazing. And if I have to go era-wise, like modern day Muse, maybe even you remember Triumph? The
Triumph's
80s?
amazing.
It's the best. Double neck guitar.
Yep.
So fucking good. Eve, is it Eve 6?
Eve 6 is a trio.
Yeah, initially. You got to jump into that genre of music.
I mean, you can even look at Green Day.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. Green
Right.
Yeah. Hit-wise?
Oh, I
Blink-182?
mean, Blink-182. Yeah, I didn't even think about Blink-182. I mean, they just got back together, so I mean, that's right
Yep.
on it. Rush is the tier. Also, we're drinking Malibu watermelon mojitos. That's the drink of the night. We're probably going to drink some other stuff. There's stuff in front of us. There's these simply spiked lemonades. There's also some twisters, as always, here on the decision reel on the table. We got those going.
It's perfect. Down
Yeah.
the gullet.
Looks like we also
Straight
got
down the hatch.
the straight jack if we're doing that too. We got everything here.
Uh-oh.
We got everything here on the table at the decision reel
This
because
is the bro time.
this is where it happens.
Bromance time.
This is where it happens. Anyways, the plot of I Love You, Man. Friendless
You
Peter
smell like
Clavin.
cigarette- I smell like cigarettes in that ashtray. What did he say? Sorry, you can play. Go.
Friendless Peter Clavin goes on a series of mandates to find a best man for his wedding. But when his insta-bond with his new BFF puts a strain on his relationship with his fiancée, can the trio learn to live happily ever after?
That what an important thing to know.
I mean, yeah, I like this movie because it does paint a different picture of the best friend or the friend duo movie or the buddy movie, right? Where you're involving the woman who at first is like, yeah, you need a fucking friend, dude. Like, you're
Yeah.
about us. Like, but also, what woman would complain when he's bringing out a fucking tray of milkshakes
With that straw?
with the straw
I
you
wanted
could
that
eat?
shit.
You know, no woman's being like, you need
Was
friends.
that Presley? Was her name? What was that little girl's name?
Jamie Presley.
The blonde. I was mad.
I know, right?
I was genuinely mad. If I took the time to do something like that, and
Right.
then I heard that, I would have stormed that room.
I know.
Yeah, I would have went and broke. I would have grabbed the straws and went.
I would have
through
ate
it.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have ate them all.
Yeah.
I would have opened the door and be like, these were going to be for you, but fuck
Mine
that.
now.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that.
But again, what I was saying is then you have it to where she's all about him getting a friend. But then once he finds the friend, it's almost like they're too inseparable and like, hey, this is a little weird. But is it because he's never had a friend like this? So
Yeah.
he's almost having to like make up for lost time. And, you know, maybe sometimes dudes like to be dudes and hang out and do what they got to do. And
Oh, speaking, you and I have been close for a long, long time, but
Long
this has never
time.
been in conversation. Do
Uh-oh.
you have a jerk off station?
you have, this is what's with the rubbers? Oh, it's so there's not a mess when I finish. It's genius.
If I
Or
ever
no,
asked
it's so
you
I-
and
what did he
expected
say?
a conversation, I feel like that would be you.
Right. It's so I last longer and I don't have to clean up afterwards.
It's just so in depth and like
And
far beyond
I
where
think,
you should be.
I think the best part of that conversation is how unbothered it seemed like he was.
it's beautiful.
Right? He's like, well, what's going on over there? He's like, oh, this is where I jerk off.
I feel like it's kind of me. Like, you know, I'm just devil may care. You know, I don't care.
I don't.
I don't have a jerk off station.
It's everywhere.
yeah. It's wherever I'm at.
Right. I could be sitting on the couch. I could be in my bed. I could be. Hey,
Grocery store,
it don't matter.
dog food section.
That does matter. Let's be real. That does matter.
500 yards of a Chuck E. Cheese.
God damn it. Where you can watch I Love You, Man. If you have a subscription, you can watch it on HBO Max or Amazon Prime. To rent, Google Play, Amazon, also Apple TV, Vudu, Redbox, and all the other bullshit places.
Where did Steve grab this from?
My fucking Blu-ray, because I own it, baby.
Hey.
I found something out.
The last honest human.
I know, right? It's not on my Plex. Let's throw that out there. But I actually own it. Now, I went through a phase, okay? This was...
I mean, if you were if you were in the dude, I would love you still. It doesn't
That's
matter.
not what I was talking about.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I went through a phase of when any movie came out that was decent, I had to buy it. Okay, so this started on DVD
Sure.
into
you were
Blu-ray.
like you were a collector.
I was the guy that
you
was
were
like,
prepping. You were prepping to be a collector.
I was at Best Buy every Tuesday buying a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
How many movies do you think you have
I've downsized
on a DVD or Blu-ray?
probably 200.
I think I might have more,
You might. I've downsized.
but that's because I was a cheap ass Walmart.
True, you were getting them $5 bins, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting Cobra.
Right.
I'm getting
Cobra
like,
with vertical
serious,
limit on
yeah,
the same
there's
DVD.
There's 5 Snipes movies
Mhm.
together in one. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was. Anyways,
What's the Blade? Motherfuckers want to always skate on ice uphill or whatever.
It's okay.
God damn it. What was I trying to say?
Skate on
Oh.
ice.
So one thing I found out the other day, and I kind of actually went on a deep dive on this, and I'm a little ashamed that I did because it took up a lot of my time. Watching a movie on Netflix or Amazon or a streaming service, even though it says it's in 4K, the picture is still unsuperior. What's the word for not superior?
Flaccid. Degradation.
Not as good
Degradation.
looking as if you popped in a Blu-ray in a physical.
Inferior.
Thank you, inferior.
Oh,
Look at
yeah,
us
yeah, yeah.
being.
We're there.
We're there.
Never have I been the one to answer a word for Steve.
Right.
The tables of fucking.
How the turntables. So I went down a long fucking road of why is this and how can it be and what's really going on here. Obviously, what it is bandwidth, right? All these
Sure.
server farms and all this stuff, they're saving their bandwidth because think of how many people are watching Netflix, Amazon, whatever at any given time. So you're not trying to give everybody unlimited bandwidth or the best possible picture you can. Yes, Netflix charges $20 or whatever it is a fucking month now for 4K. You're not really getting a 4K picture. You're getting an upscaled 1080p
Sure,
picture
yeah,
that
yeah.
still has a bunch of noise in it.
People don't know, but like you can go through like all the old versions of resolutions like
Mhm.
UHD, HD, D. People don't know what a lot of these are. And upscaling 1080, it's not really upscaling 1080 that much.
You're not,
either.
no. You're making the picture look a little sharper, but you're
Sure.
not.
Sharpness isn't upscaling.
No. I remember when HD TVs were the new thing. And I remember buying one of the first plasma flat screens. I still have it. It was a Hitachi 42-inch.
I've seen that.
It's a 1080i. Not 1080p, 1080i. Interlaced instead of
Yes.
polar, right?
Yeah. You're talking to
You're
the
talking to my
guru
guy
over
here, yeah. So I remember I was so excited for this because this was the first plasma TV or one of the first to have 1080,
Don't
right?
lay it on its face. You cannot lay it on its face.
It's got to be upright. I remember going to Sears and buying this TV, and this was
Were you working there at the time?
no, this was before I even worked there.
Oh, shit, it
This
was
is
that
so
long ago.
long ago. This was
Jesus
like
Christ.
2007, maybe 2008.
Anytime I have questions for anyone listening, I kind of ask Steve. I think I've gotten a little further now because that's the work that I do. But when I was younger, before I was doing this, Muscolzi was fucking head of the market on appliances and TVs and all that shit.
I still like to go to places to
Yeah.
kind of see what's out there. And
No,
like,
you were fucking balls deep in the
I was.
reviews
I
because
was.
you want the best quality.
I want
for
the best of the best of the
price.
best. So, anyways, I remember buying that TV, 42-inch. Still got the fucking receipt, right? Guess how much I paid for a 42-inch TV in 2008 for 1080i?
A lot.
It was $18.99.
Jesus Christ.
Which actually isn't that much when you think about it. I got it on sale, though. It was regular, like, 26 or something. Whatever. I remember, like, I got to have it. Whatever. I was still living with my parents at the time.
I know.
That's a large purchase.
I would say that you've been built the same since you were a child.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Relatively the same.
Yeah,
Maybe full. I envision. I didn't know you when you were like 7 or 8 because I don't
didn't
think you
know
were
me
here.
either. No, I was not in this
But
country, no.
I envision little Steve exactly the same as adult Steve at the age of maybe 9 or 10.
Add more Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura in there,
Sure,
and that's
sure.
me.
Yeah. They're
Just, yeah.
You fully developed at 9. You think?
Yeah,
10?
probably.
Maybe 11 tops.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like taking note. Steve has notes of things that he lent me on his wall, And they stayed there for years until I gave them back.
Look, you got to know what you got.
It was a checkout system.
Right, you got to know.
What do they call that shit in libraries back in the day?
The
Before
Dewey
it was all...
Decimal System. No,
No. You would have to check it out. They would have like a little thing, and you would like have to look through it for books and shit. But there's a name for it.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I know
what it
you're
always
saying.
reminded me of.
The file system where
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
through. Yeah. Well, you also had
know.
like in the back of the book where you took out the thing and you know, it showed the checkout when you took it and when you brought it back. I mean, kind of like that. My brain works in a mysterious way where if I
You're
do
just a
that,
diligent human. That's really
I'm going
all
to
it is.
forget about it. And I've been burnt so many times. We talked about this on a past episode where I kind of need to know. Like, if I lend you a movie that I fucking like, and I went through that phase where I was buying everything. So I had a lot of people like, oh, fuck, yeah, I'll borrow it from Steve. He's got it. And at that time, there was no Netflix. There was no streaming services. There was, you go to Blockbuster and get it. Oh, shit, it's already out. I'm going to Steve. He's got it, right? And there
I'm
was...
going on Steve's fucking... It's funny because it's full circle now.
'Cause
You
I'm doing
have the
Plex.
means. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the beads.
It's
to
funny.
Do it
It's
in
really
a...
funny. And I make my own TV channels. What's up? Hey, yeah.
You can go watch Steve's Plex, and on there is a Muscolzi's home video channel.
There is. There's a Steve TV. Now there's also a Steve TV 2 channel. So I got all my favorite shows.
Maybe that's what'll blow up.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe
I got to get a better fucking server here to get everything running faster.
Get you like your own computer, just old laptop. Put the server on that bitch.
Well,
Just
no,
let it
I have a
by itself.
dedicated server
Where?
in that. I'll show you when we get off in the under the stairs.
This is what I'm talking. Anyone listening, this is what I'm talking about. This is the shit that I'm
So
talking
I have
about.
a dedicated server with 4 bays for hard drives to go in.
You got an actual like, is it like Microsoft? Is it like a 2012 or 2016?
It's a Western Digital.
you fucking
yeah.
God damn it!
I spent a little money on it. You know, whatever. I want to make
It's a
sure
beautiful thing.
it's a beautiful thing. So I actually just went deeper and I found a program that's able to. I shouldn't be talking about this, but I'm going to. That's able to take your files off of your streaming services and download them.
What do you mean files?
So instead
Like
of
if you watch
searching,
something?
so instead of
Okay.
searching, because I've run into this where I can't find certain torrents for files that I want.
Illegal videos to download.
Right. I got a pirate. I'm Jack Sparrow over here. So when I come across something like that, it's pretty good, right? The watermelon lemonade.
Ain't bad. It's
When I
making
come
me flush.
across a show that I like that I can't find somewhere else to get, well,
Sure.
how do you get it? Well, if it's on a streaming service, there's got to be ways to pull that file from that streaming service.
Sure.
I have found that service. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you that I even use it, but I found it.
I don't want to get myself.
I don't want to incriminate anybody.
I'll-
You, anybody in this room, the dog.
If I had to do it, if I just let it play on OBS,
So
I would just let it play on OBS.
there's things that don't allow you to do that. I've
You have to
ran
get a
into
second
this.
machine.
Hold on.
Get a second
Nope,
machine
nope,
because you
even a
can't do
second
it on
machine.
your normal. You
A
can't
second machine won't even do it. I've tried to OBS.
Streamlabs won't do it.
Streamlabs or OBS won't do HBO Max. You can't just record off of
can't.
it. It's just black. Okay, there's ways,
Just
right?
trust me. I ran into the same thing.
Here's the thing I don't like about that. If I press play, that play comes up.
What do you mean, like the
menu.
visual play button?
Yeah.
I just do it a little bit before and then cut the video, bro.
But what if that video, as soon as you hit play, plays?
Then you play it later. You hit the space bar. I don't
But
know.
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to deal with all that. I don't want to also I don't want to have to watch a movie.
You want that pristine condition.
Well, no, what I'm saying, I don't want to have to watch a movie to get a movie. You get what I'm saying? Or watch a file to get a
You
file.
just want to download it. You want to pull
Exactly.
it.
I want
ASAP.
30 seconds. I got it. Not
Sure.
an hour and a half.
Sure.
Right?
I get it. That
So-
I get.
So maybe I have found or stumbled across something that will allow me to do that.
Maybe.
I'm going through and getting all the Nickelodeon Nicktoons of my yesteryear
Oh gosh.
and making a Nickelodeon channel.
Favorite
on my
Nickelodeon
Plex.
TV show? Go.
It's between Nickelodeon Guts or Family Double Dare.
Oh, I forgot about the Double Dare. What
Here's-
about cartoon? What about cartoon? Real quick before you get into it.
It's either Rocket Power,
Remember
Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy.
What was it? What was the one I watched?
All Real Monsters. That's what it is.
Real Monsters was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good. Was it Legends of the Hidden Temple? Was
I
that what
love
it was?
Legend. I got so.
That was dope.
I'll show you.
That was so fucking dope.
I got a whole bunch of shit there going
And
on.
then-
Yeah.
I was a Hey Arnold kid. I'm
I-
I'm always
so-
like a life story kind of guy, you know.
I was
At
not
the
a
end,
football
there's-
head guy. I don't know why.
At the
Sitting
end,
on the stoop.
yeah, stoop kid left to stoop. I was always like, if at the end of a show, it had like a this makes you a better person. I was always a big fan of that as a kid.
Touche.
My growth as a human being.
Touche. And
You think about it, cartoons shaped us, you and I.
you're right. And come full circle, we've talked
People-
about this a lot on the show. Yep.
Okay, good. No, you finish.
There's no show today that's giving life lessons.
Yes, exactly. That's why I like taking my son to watch like Marvel movies and stuff like
Right.
that, just to be anything that like projects being a good human.
Yeah, exactly. Or, hey, maybe you show your kid older shows because they have a message and he gets hooked on one of them and goes, oh, this is pretty good. And I'm
Sure.
learning something, right?
Sure.
Yeah, some of it's outdated and doesn't really work very well with today, but it's still showing life lessons. No show, because let's be real, everybody's watching YouTube. What life lesson are you getting from
Yeah.
fucking Blippy or whatever the fuck his name
No,
is?
there's no heroes. There's none.
Nope.
There's none. None that I can find, at least. You know, like you talk about Bluey and
Bluey, is that
Even
it? What did I
at-
say? Blippy? Fuck it.
they're just trying to teach people how to deal with like emotions. But there's no heroes out there. You got to find someone to lock onto.
Exactly.
Like when I was young, it was like maybe Michael Jordan or
Oh,
maybe
right.
like any
I
cartoon hero.
believe I can fly.
Yeah, yeah. You know how many times I went out and I'm like fucking listening to what is
Mhm.
it? Fucking what is the guy that
Basketball
banged minorities? What the
Jones.
fuck is his name?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm listening to R. Kelly like crossing up.
Peeing on
Yeah, yeah.
minorities.
I'm like shadow boxing, but in basketball
Right.
form. I'm like,
Shoot the J.
shoot the J.
Shoot it.
Shoot the J. Shoot the J. But no, cartoons, man. They built us. They built us. They need to do better. They need to do a better job.
They do, yeah. So I already have a Plex cartoon channel, which I have shows on there only because no one remembers them, like the Men in Black cartoon show,
It was great.
the Godzilla cartoon show.
Also good.
There is a Mummy cartoon
Those were like
show.
some of the first heavily animated ones that I watched as a
Correct.
kid.
I bet you watch just the beginning of those shows and you'll have so much nostalgia to go, oh my God, fuck yeah. And then,
Huge cartoons that bring large nostalgic value to you.
to me,
Gargoyles.
ooh.
You remember that one?
I
Remember
have it
the
on
intro
DVD.
to Gargoyles?
Yeah, oh yeah, I have it on DVD.
It's
I
dope.
haven't. Well, it's on Disney Plus.
When was
so
the last
yeah.
time you put on the dark, like 90s, late 90s Batman?
The animated series?
The animated series.
It's-
The ratio was
Yeah.
thin.
Yeah, so it's in. So I'm doing this thing where because I work from home.
Sure.
At lunchtime, I have shows that I haven't watched or I want to watch again that I go through.
Mhm.
So right now I'm watching What We Do in the Shadows and Schitt's Creek. Once I get through that, I already have what I have lined
I
up.
can't do Schitt's Creek. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, you got to get through a couple episodes and then you get
I've
it.
told you, I get that secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah,
and that's full of it. Anyways,
It
go ahead.
goes away, but then it gets better, and then whatever. My next up is going to be Batman the animated series again,
It's so good.
and then figuring it out. I did a rewatch probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's so good, and things have happened with the Batman mythos, if you will,
Sure.
that I want to go back and watch it again. So
Like
it's
the
it's
universe?
coming. Yeah, it's coming.
It's so good. It's so dark. Like, why was that a thing at that age? I remember watching it maybe a year and a half ago
Yeah.
and going, what the fuck?
Also,
is this?
with Kevin Conroy passing away recently, it brings me into that. I
The
gotta,
voice.
I gotta watch it again,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna bring me into playing the video games again from the fucking start on
Name 'em.
PS3.
So you had name all of them.
You had Arkham
Island?
Asylum.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had fuck.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
I was trying
remember.
to think about this the other day because my
There's
son was
Arkham
talking
City, but
Yes.
that's the third one, I believe.
Batman. I think the first one was Asylum. Wasn't the first one Asylum?
It's Arkham Asylum because that's when Joker comes out of the
Yeah.
asylum.
Yeah.
But Arkham City, I believe, is the third one. There's one in between, and then there was the one that came out on PS4, which is still gorgeous looking.
All those games are great looking.
Yeah.
I forget them.
Here's how we bring this full circle. Are you ready, Walter?
Sure.
Because we're best friends and we've been around each other for a long time. There's a specific night I want to talk about. This night is the night we watched this movie together for the first time, or in general for the first time.
I remember I was a wee lad
And
at the
what
time.
what did we do before watching this movie?
You mean when we sat at your house at the apartment?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We played Batman
Oh, yeah,
Arkham
yeah.
Asylum.
We were there. We were there playing it before,
Yes.
prior. Okay.
And we both came
How
up
did
with
you remember that?
You
The
ready?
fuck?
You ready? This is how I remembered it.
That was deeply buried.
Oh, yeah.
It was relatively new at that time
Yeah,
too.
we were playing brand new on the TV I was fucking talking about. What up, baby?
We're there.
Yeah.
We're locked
So,
in.
okay. The reason why I remember this is because me and you came up with this thing in that game that has helped me in so many other
Look up.
games. Look up. Yep.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Whatever reason, in that game, we got
all
stuck
coming back.
so many times, and all we had to do was just look up.
Yeah.
God of War, fucking Last of Us,
How many times
Uncharted
since then?
now. Just look up.
Look, anyone out there that's struggling with an RPG or a puzzle of any sort, the first thing you do is that you're stuck on that horizontal plane.
Exactly.
You're fixated on the horizontal plane for left and right.
Look up. Just,
You're
look up.
never going up and down. So
Mhm.
just fucking look up, man. You're on the floor.
Fixes everything.
You're on the floor. Look up to the sky.
Never go full retard, man.
Is there
never.
a vent you need to jump in?
It's up there. It's above you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we're
Die
good.
Hard, just fucking get an event, man.
Exactly.
Because that's what that game was, getting an event.
Now, bring it back full circle.
Yep.
Back to I Love You, Man. This is written, directed by John Hamburg, who's also wrote Meet the Parents and Zoolander, those type movies. There's some other things in there, too.
Dude, Meet the Parents. Haven't thought about that in a while, but great movie.
Right. The woman from that went kind of off the deep end.
Oh, really?
Ben Stiller's
Like, is it like political
White
off the deep end kind of thing? Or is
like,
it like
crazy.
Oh, she went like legitimately
Oh, yeah,
like wacky? Okay.
Remember what's-her-face who wanted to be Catwoman in that Batman in the 90s, and she went crazy because of it?
I think so.
What the fuck's her name? She was in Wayne's World 2. She hits the
Yep,
car. Yeah.
yep.
That chick. She went literally crazy because of that.
Oh, Jesus.
Same kind of thing, but not over a role, but just going crazy. And then she like posed for Playboy and shit too to get money because she was like, yeah.
How much money would it cost for you to pose naked in a magazine?
What magazine?
National Geographic.
Free. What's up?
It has to be authentic Steve just walking around your house because
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Candid.
yeah.
It has to be candid.
Well, it has to be in your natural habitat. It's
Where other
natural.
places would you walk naked, candid?
In a hotel room?
Okay, so there's only 2 photo shoots there. That's what you're telling me. I feel
In
like my
yeah.
areas I'd walk naked
Sure.
are vast.
Vast. Everywhere.
yeah.
We're going through the bushes.
Yeah.
We're going through the cornfields.
Yeah.
We're going
You
hucking
get
for
a-
corn. What?
Let me tell you, going through the fields, cornfield naked, you'll end up with a lot of cuts.
A lot of cuts.
Those things are sharp.
Got any tips?
Cut shred like a julienne salad.
Give it up, Matt.
Give me that back.
This is rated R for pervasive language, including crude and sexual references. Yeah.
I need to use that word more. Pervasive.
Pervasive. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
pervert.
Yeah.
Pervasive. Yeah, yeah.
Pervasive. Yeah.
I speak Latin.
I speak
It's not a dead language.
ipso facto. I know Latin now. Whatever. This is starring Paul Rudd as Peter Clavin, Jason Segel as Sidney Fife, Rashida Jones as Zoe, Jamie Presley as Denise, John Favreau as Barry, Andy Samberg as Robbie, Rob Hubble as
Hubble?
Taven, and J.K. Simmons as Oswald Clavin.
Oh, J.K. Simmons.
I love. No. Okay, there's like a couple roles that were made for people. J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson.
Sure. 100%.
You can't not be him.
There's no one else. So the only time I think I've come close to him like completely enveloping a role was Whiplash. When he was the
Not My
conductor.
Tempo.
Yeah. That movie. Why don't we review movies like top 10 caliber on this?
We should.
We haven't picked a movie that's like Shawshank.
Are you rushing or are you dragging?
It's not my tempo.
That movie, like,
It's almost
you know what?
perfect.
We don't need to get into it because that could be its own review in itself. And it's surprising I haven't picked it yet because
You're a drummer.
being a
and
drummer.
you love great movies.
Yeah. What up?
It's a phenomenal
It really
fucking
is.
movie.
And the ending to that movie, no spoilers, is one of the best, like,
I think it is the best.
crescendos on a crescendo.
I
Like,
think it's the best.
yeah, it's really, it's
It's so fucking good.
it's up there. It's not top 10 for me, but it's like top 15.
It might be top 10 for me if I exclude anything that gives me like the childhood like
I got you.
Yeah.
You know what's not in my top 10?
What?
Any of the Lord of the Rings.
Sure. Plenty of people can't get into that fictional shit. You are one of them.
I'm not saying I don't like the
What
movies.
was the last thing you liked that had swords and wizards, Steve? Nothing.
No, I
Na-
feel
name
like
it.
okay. So
Fucking name it.
that new Dungeons and Dragons movie, I will probably like. I haven't watched it yet,
You haven't even watched it.
but I feel like I like it.
You can't say you'd probably
Shut
even
up.
like it.
No, there was a movie I watched. I swear recently that was like sword fighting and shit. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a medieval guy.
You're not. It's been like that since we were kids. I've tried to get you to play games and shit like that, watch movies. You just don't like that shit.
What do I like?
Guns and violence. And
And I guess
I'm
I'm,
in with you on
I'm
that too,
American,
but-
huh? God damn.
I
it.
love Lord of the Rings. Look, notable my girlfriend Sarah.
Mm.
I'm not going to say obsessed with Lord of the Rings, but she can probably quote the entire movie without watching it
Oh, okay.
in order, I would say.
My precious.
Yeah. She also does a Gollum
Mean-
impression I've
mean-
heard.
Mean Schmeagol.
Yeah. It's weird to hear for the first time.
I bet. Does she do like full character body
I
and
think-
everything?
she didn't do it the first time, but I think she could.
Like
I don't think she
talking
wanted
your,
to show me her full.
talking to your penis.
Show me your precious?
Yeah. My precious.
No. I
That
thought
would
you were
be
talking about like
hilarious.
articulating
Oh,
like her body, like
that's what I'm saying.
motion
Yeah,
capture.
Yeah. You gotta get into
I think
it.
she. I would bet that she could
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
do it. Like
I mean-
if I dimmed the lights and was like, "Hey, I need you to try this," I think it
I need
would
a
be
light
almost
from the
spot
bottom
on.
and from the side and just schmeagle the shit.
I
out
feel
of
like
it.
she'd come out with a full body wetsuit with little white balls attached to it and a headpiece, and then sang the lines verbatim for probably like 30 seconds.
You know what? Good for her.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
If you're gonna do something, go all in.
Yeah, if that's her, 100%.
Speaking of all in, this movie's runtime 105 minutes. It's little long.
Short for me. I
Short.
love this. I eat this fucking movie up.
All right. One of my favorite things to think about with a movie when you're reviewing it, do you feel like it's too short and you want to stay in the world of the movie?
I need to get past, do I feel like it should be done, or do I love it, and do I want more? Because so the story was done when it was supposed to
Sure,
be done,
sure.
right?
But you want to live in the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
still.
these two guys are great. It's hilarious. It's just a love story. I don't give a
It
fuck
really
who
is.
you are.
Yeah.
It's if you got rid of the lady, well, you can't really do that, but hypothetically, if you could,
Hypothetically.
it's a Romeo and Juliet kind of story. The trials and tribulations.
Yeah, because then they kind of break up, right?
Separate,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that makes sense.
You know, that's how it is, man.
The Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah. You drink
know,
the poison with me.
I still have. So I played Mercutio in a 9th grade retelling of
Which one was he? Which one was he?
the guy that gets stabbed or
That's
some shit.
what
Yeah.
it was.
I played him and I still remember like the lines, but I'm not gonna say them.
You got to at least.
No,
You're not gonna do one. You think it's too much?
it's too much.
No, okay, that's fine.
But I remember being told by the teacher that was like, "You're not gonna do good in this, and you won't do it." And I was like, "Fuck you, I'll do it." Obviously, he was playing the Whiplash fucking guy, challenging me, so I would do it. So good on him. But yeah, I fucking killed it.
Reverse. Yeah, of course you did. Reverse psychology gets him every time, especially stubborn
These
assholes.
9 laps. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I will hear it again here in a minute.
Released on March 20th, 2009.
Like I was saying earlier, my son was born in 2009, a couple months after this.
So he was percolating at this point,
He was baking in the oven, supposedly, ready to come out a little early, but he was there.
and we were just hanging without anybody, me and you, at this apartment watching this
Sure.
movie and playing. No, there was other people there, obviously,
Yeah.
but playing video games and watching. Well, okay, here's the funny story about that.
Sure, shoot. How far are we getting into this right now?
We'll get into it.
Okay, go ahead.
I had an apartment with my ex-girlfriend, and she had a friend over, and you were over, and they were outside on the patio, whatever,
It's like
hanging
this
out.
movie. It was like this movie.
Right, and me and you, albeit we're already best friends at this point. Well, we've been
Yeah,
best
yeah.
friends for a long time.
Yeah,
but what
we'd
I'm
be
saying
like
is,
middle school.
it's not like they brought us together and we're just chilling by ourselves. But
No,
we
no,
were
no.
we were in front of the TV hanging out while they were hanging out.
We were engrossed with this.
Right, and then we were playing the video game. That's probably why they went
Mhm.
outside. And then we put the movie on, and then we were just like, "Yeah, what's up?" This
It
is
was
us.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect. Literally perfect. I
Literally.
would say that I am definitely I'm Jason Segel on this, and you are definitely Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
If we had to pick, I know
That
it's
makes
not
sense.
a perfect lineup, but I think
But
it's more
yeah,
of that
yeah,
lineup. You know,
close, right? You're the goofier whatever. I'm the more serious.
we're a little more developed down the road, but yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yelling at people because
I don't have a jerk off station, but yeah.
yet.
I gotta go reevaluate
Right.
my shit.
Now I got ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I was
God,
literally talking to Steve. I had built a fence in my yard, and I was gonna put up a like a lookout station out in
a
my
guard
yard.
station. Just call it
That
what
would
it
be
is.
the masturbation station.
Oh, you're right. Because
Just- but for the world.
But yeah, exactly. I'm out. Got my feet hanging out the windows.
The bus of school kids drive by. What the fuck?
What's going on up there? You don't want to know.
It's a siege.
It's raining. What's it raining?
The fuck is this?
Box office that week. The top
500 yards to
10.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, Jesus.
Go,
Christ.
keep going, keep going.
Want some pizza?
Box office.
Top 10 that week. Number 10, Caroline. Or is it Coraline? I can't remember.
Caroline.
Something
Anyway,
like that.
sorry.
Number 9, Medea Goes to Jail.
Caroline is a horror movie, right?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
with like the buttons.
Look, guilty
Fries.
pleasure Medea movies. Everyone hates that
I'm
shit
gonna say
because they're
this.
industrialized.
I think Medea ripped off Ernest.
Ernest, Medea Goes to Church. Wow.
Medea Goes to Jail. Ernest goes to jail.
Oh!
Medea Saves Christmas, probably. Ernest Saves Christmas.
Have you seen Tyler Perry's Compound? Have you watched the video on that?
It says
How much money he's made?
good for him. Number 1.
Jesus Christ.
Good for him, but what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's like the size of like Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Hey, when you can tap into a market and
Do it.
suck
Bleed it
for-
dry.
Exactly.
Bleed it dry.
Just vampire that shit.
I think it's hilarious. Some of his shit's stupid, but I am down for the dumbness.
you know.
There's
do-
something about an old black woman that I'm
You're
just
right.
attracted to.
You're
I don't
right.
know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but it's funny because the Big Mama's House wasn't as crazy. Same thing
No,
when
you're
you
right,
think
you're
about
right.
it.
Oh, Big Mama's House.
Number 8, Slumdog Millionaire.
That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
That was when that Eastern man does something with money. I don't remember.
Sure,
any-
whatever.
I remember it being a big deal, but I just kept thinking of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and like Regis Philbin here. Whoa! I fucking love Regis, man.
It was funny because I could see him, and then you did the whoa thing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa!
I miss Regis and Kathy Lee. I don't know why. It's
Did you
Regis.
watch that
all
morning
the
show or
time,
whatever it
all
was?
the time. My favorite thing on Seinfeld is when Kramer makes the coffee table book, and then he goes on a tour with it, and he ends up
forgot how
being
big of-
on
Oh,
Regis and
yeah.
Kathy Lee, and they're talking about the coffee table book, right? And he's just like, oh, and the best part is the book itself turns into a coffee table, and he fucking he puts
Oh
the
my
fuck,
God.
and then he takes the drink of whatever it was, and it wasn't coffee, and he spits it out. And of course, Regis, wow, you know.
Yeah, dude, I think you're the first person that I've met that was like a Seinfeld fanatic.
Really?
At a younger age. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, at a
And I-
younger age. Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It was I didn't know anyone else at a younger age to watch. That's what I'm telling you. Steve
Yeah.
was an adult at a very young age, but he.
guess.
But
I watch Seinfeld all the
what
time.
would you say? So I'll tell you mine first because I always
Okay.
ask about like preferences and shit because I like picking people's minds apart. But I think I came into Seinfeld late.
Yeah.
Maybe as a young man because of you, and I remember my favorite episode of that. Well, there was 2. I love the one with Kramer making dinner in the shower. The shower.
Right.
This shit was hilarious. But my favorite episode. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah,
My
which is
favorite-
genius.
Yeah, yeah. Is when he goes to the car dealership
Oh,
and he gets in and he takes the guy with him and he's driving around.
They're
on
trying to get
E.
how much gas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
And
they're like-
he wants to get rid of, or he's like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
let's go back. And the guy's like, no, man, we gotta know.
And they're sweating it out.
Yep.
And it runs out and it's the most anticlimactic thing I have ever seen.
Isn't
in my
that
life.
Seinfeld though?
Yeah,
Like, it's perfect.
it was genius. It was fucking genius.
So my favorite Seinfeld episode. It's hard, right? There's every episode. I
Well,
don't.
it's one of your shows, so it's like
This is
pick-
me
picking a baby,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, this is me talking, and people will say, "Oh, Friends and this and that," or fucking. I was gonna say Darwin and Greg, but nobody fucking remembers that show. But all these bigger shows, Big Bang Theory or How I Met Your Mother, they're like,
Sure.
"Oh yeah, these are all the great episodes." But I don't think you can say Friends every episode was the best. I don't think you could say How I Met Your Mother there was amazing episodes all the time.
you mean like lulls? There was no lulls in Seinfeld. is
I
what you're
don't
getting
think there is a lull. Yes, you could say the first couple episodes
at.
are
What about
different.
The Office didn't have very many lulls for me. Have you gotten far in that? I'm not
I've
finished.
watched
I'm not
all of
finished.
The Office. Yeah, it lulls after Michael leaves.
Oh,
It really does.
I
but
didn't know that happened either.
oh,
God damn it.
look, that show came out 20 years ago, bro. Like
I
spoilers,
know,
yeah.
But still, I'm a late bloomer or something.
Anyways, there's funny shit that happens, but it changes the show dramatically and it makes it go. But up
Okay.
until that point, yeah, there wasn't that much of lull. Now, I will say with The Office, take out Jim and Pam, The Office kind of sucks.
There's no heart and soul.
Right. There's no reason to kind of watch.
And,
like,
and I
Mi-
don't know the show too well, but I know
Yeah.
it well enough. I'm like 3 seasons in or some shit
okay,
like that.
Michael Scott is the worst character on TV, but he still redeems himself all the time. So you're like, all right,
Did you know
but-
Steve Carell taught comedy? Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, he
it
was
makes
a
sense.
teacher of comedy
Good for him.
prior. Yeah, yeah. That's
So
a
anyways,
little
getting
fun
back
fact.
to Seinfeld, my favorite episode probably, if I had to like pin it,
Sure.
would be the Merv Griffin episode.
Go through it for me, because I'm not. I watched all of them, I think.
Kramer finds the Merv Griffin set in the dumpster and then sets it up in his apartment. And then when people come over, they're on the show. And then...
I forgot about that. That
Right.
was very deep.
and it's literally him and Newman just sitting like we are right now, like just talking to each other like they're on the show. They got the theme music playing on a tape recorder and all this stuff. And then, so the subplot of the episode is George runs over a squirrel. And his girlfriend at the time was like, yo, that's fucked up. You need to take the squirrel to the veterinarian and like fix it up. And then they got to pay all these bills and like it has to get like physical therapy and all this shit. And then Kramer starts like, yo, we need to, vamp this show up or, make the show more spicy. Well, the other B plot is Jerry has a girlfriend who has all these old toys. She has like all this stuff, but when he goes over there, she like ends up like passing out because they eat like turkey and tryptophan and all that, like whatever.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Makes you
she
sick.
basically says you can't play with these, but when she passes out, he starts playing with them. So then he brings George over and Elaine over, and they fucking give her drugs
about this.
so they can play with these toys. Well, then they find like an easy bake oven and all this stuff, and then so Kramer then at the end of the episode is like, we need to spice the show up and make it like not Jerry Seinfeld, fucking Jerry, guy just died.
Comedian?
No, he had the fucking show on whatever during the day. Not your father or whatever, not Maury, but the other thing, Jerry Springer.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of
Oh,
right,
yeah.
he tried to make it like that, and then he like talked to Jerry about like what he was doing with his girlfriend, and he's like, "Well, we got her backstage," and she comes out and like all this shit, and then they have John Hannah on the show too with the animals and everything. He's
That's
like,
genius.
"Where are the cameras?" What? Just don't worry about it. We're rolling. Honestly, the best nothing show ever.
So, do you think thematically, like, they went with, like, hey, we have this main thing, it's obscene. We have this B subplot that's happening every show. I feel like that was every show. Let's pick two characters that are going through trials and tribulations, and let's see how they affect the other guys, and let's fucking run with it.
I watched an interview with Larry David, who was the main writer for the first, like, 4 or 5 seasons, and he said it was literally, we have a main story, we have a secondary story, and if we can, we have a third story. But they all intertwine towards the end. Right?
Okay.
So you always
course.
set it
Yeah,
up
yeah,
in
makes
different
perfect sense.
places where it doesn't seem like it would somewhat come together, but then it comes together to be stupid.
Yeah.
Right? It always works out.
I mean, I always liked Seinfeld. Never really hated Seinfeld.
And I'm a Jerry Seinfeld guy too, and I think the reason why I am is because his comedy is for everybody. He's not.
Have you watched Comedians in Cars?
Yep,
with
amazing.
coffee?
Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Getting coffee. That's what it is.
It's a great show because he's just hanging out with people.
Just being him.
Right.
And
Just
he's funny.
Dudes being guys.
He's
you
funny.
know?
I've watched his stand-ups even later, like with regurgitated material. It's hilarious.
It's really
fucking
good.
hilarious.
One of my favorite stand-up specials is I'm Telling You for the Last Time, and it was Jerry Seinfeld saying, "I'm retiring all these jokes." Right?
Yeah,
And the whole opening is like a fucking funeral scene in which he's putting all of his jokes on paper in a fucking coffin, and all these other comics are just like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like, can I take one of these?" Like, And he does all those jokes for the last time, and they're so good, and they kill all the time. And
I love how he's like, self-identifies as a man's man,
but he's not.
but he's not.
But he's not.
He's clearly not.
I just like that his
You know what I'm
comedy is for
saying?
everybody. Yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. His comedy is for everybody, right?
It's hilarious.
And you can take it one or two ways, and you either like it or you don't.
What the most famous comedy line of all time?
What's the deal with these people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Airplane peanuts.
Right.
Those are the ones, man. Those are the ones. Anyways, let's get back to this. We're straying. It's my fault.
Number 7.
7.
Taken.
Liam Neeson loses a family member for the first time.
The first time.
The first time.
Liam Neeson's knees son. I always say it. I have to.
Neeson's knees son. So he's a problem.
Sure.
With it.
I will say this. When Taken came out, it was
thought it was
fresh.
great.
It was fresh.
Yeah.
There was nothing like it. And, obviously, I will find you.
Back in
And I will kill you.
a Jerry Seinfeld thing is that you don't want to over abuse
Right.
something. And
And-
I've always heard him quote, like, you should let this be as it is. If not, you're going to ruin what it was prior. You know,
Look,
like
look,
milking a like a. Go ahead. Go
Milk
ahead.
at a cow. And, well, you can say it. Same thing. So at the end of the run at Seinfeld, season 9, they offered each cast member like $35 million an episode. And Jerry said no. They said yes. Jerry said no. Because end it while it's hot.
Yep.
Don't burn it into the ground, and then it just goes out like it doesn't matter.
Sure, legacy, baby.
Guess what? You know how much money they're getting from syndication?
How much?
More than Friends, and Friends is getting like $25 million a year.
How many seasons
each.
did Friends go?
Friends went like 14. I don't know. I
It's
wasn't
not
a big
always
Friends.
about the money.
It's not. But when you make something so good that it stands the test of time, then it becomes a cash cow.
Sure,
Especially with
makes perfect
syndication.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Number 6, The Last House on the Left.
Horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was
okay.
Ryan Reynolds.
No,
was
you're
this
thinking.
one?
You were thinking
Amityville?
Amityville Horror.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think this was. I want to say Jennifer Lawrence, but I don't think it is.
I don't think that would have been too early for Jennifer Lawrence. I feel.
I think The Lovely Bones might have been Jennifer
Sure.
Lawrence. Something like that. Whatever. Not that good, but not that terrible.
Excuse me.
Number 5, a movie that I was really hyped for. Then I saw it, and then I went, oh, Watchmen.
I love that fucking movie. I've never seen such a big blue penis in my life.
Just flapping in the breeze.
Just a huge unadulterated dong.
And he could have made it any size he wanted.
I think what really got me with that movie is I'd never seen really anything like it. I almost compared it to like Sin City,
Mm-hmm.
like the way it was, the movement of the movie.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was dope. It was just dark.
You know what?
It brought humanity to one of the first movies to bring humanity to superheroes and shit.
I think I need to watch it again.
Maybe.
You know, after going through this whole run of when this came out, obviously this was at the forefront of Marvel Cinematic Universe and all this shit. Maybe going back, watching it again. I've seen it probably twice. And I just remember watching it the second time going, why am I watching this?
A good way to look at it, right, is if you put all the superhero movies in like a barrel, this one feels
different,
as close to home.
Okay.
I don't think any other superhero movie has felt emotionally as. I mean, you could do The Boys, too much gore. It's just too much.
Shut up. No,
it's amazing. It's amazing
I want
for
gore.
what it is.
I want the gore.
But because of that, it doesn't feel like it's relatable. Like
You
it
know
doesn't
what,
feel
though?
like the superhero next door. You know,
Watchmen feels like The Boys.
it does because it feels like it's a little more home. They feel like there's a lot more humanity, like everyday.
I will
struggle.
say there's the one line in Watchmen that even I still think about, and that's "You're not locked in here with me," or sorry, I'm not locked in here with you.
Rorschach.
You're locked in here with me. Yeah,
that part was amazing. What a cool superhero, by the way.
I know,
it's not even a
right?
superhero. It's just
And then
kind of
just at the end.
yeah, perfect.
You
Perfect.
know what?
That movie wasn't afraid.
I'm gonna watch that again soon.
It was great. That movie did not. It let it be what it was. I don't think anyone got involved and was like, okay, a superhero's not gonna do that. No, it was like this fucking person is gonna do this.
Well,
this is human mistakes
They
here.
took everything
whole
off the
time.
page and like they made it. So
Great, man. I
if
thought it was great.
if my wife is listening to this, we're watching that soon.
Sure, it's great.
Sorry.
I love it.
Number
Sorry.
4, Race to Witch Mountain.
Kids movie.
That's with The Rock. When he was he was in a bunch of movies and then he was
I've heard
going
of it. I'm trying
down
to remember.
and then he came back up. It's not bad, and it's a remake of like a 60s movie from Disney. It's a Disney movie. It's not bad. It's not great.
And you hate The Rock.
I don't hate The Rock.
You don't like The
I
Rock.
don't like what he's become. I like 90s Rock.
Like a mascot? Is that what you're talking? Like the
no,
whole-
he's the same person in every movie. It doesn't matter the role he's in. He's, he's
his
the
acting,
same guy.
His acting sucks ass. After like Walking Tall.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Rundown, Walking Tall, amazing. Everything
Yeah.
after that, he's the same guy. Fuck, The Tooth Fairy, he's better in than most of the stuff that he's in now because he's playing a different type of character. I just hate that.
Stretch it out, man.
Right. I hate that I'm going to stick to what works and I'm not going to try anything different.
Sure, I get that 100%.
Yep. Top 3 that week. There's only one person here to guess. So
Sure.
I'll give them to you and you got to tell me what the order is.
Sure, go shoot.
I Love You Man, Duplicity, and Knowing.
Nicolas Cage, is that Nicolas Cage's movie? What was Duplicity? Can you remind me?
Pretty sure that's Ben Stiller and 50 First Dates.
Look, can we talk about The Knowing real
Yes,
quick
we can.
before we get far into this? Did you watch the whole thing, the ending?
Yep.
This
The
is
movie is amazing until there's like 20 minutes left.
Adam Eve,
Yep.
solar flares.
Yep.
You fucking got that? 100% one of the largest disappointments at the end of a movie I've seen.
It's almost like they didn't know how to end it, and they made it up on the spot.
100%, 100%. You write a whole movie and then you get to the end, you're like, oh, fuck it.
But the movie before that, or the hour and a half, or whatever it was,
I was
before
into
that,
it.
It was amazing.
It felt
The
very
whole-
suspenseful.
I almost want to go back and edit that movie myself to make better at the
I'll be
end.
Nicolas Cage.
Well, not like like refilm stuff, but just like take stuff and make it from other
Sure,
movies with Nicolas
sure.
Cage, or do something to make a
What's a-
better ending.
What's a viable? It should be.
The bees. Sorry,
I think it should be that movie's the beginning, right?
Yep.
You're in that. It's almost up to the end, and then you insert Con Air for the last 10 minutes,
just
where he's
people
landing and he
getting-
hands
yeah.
the bear to the girl,
Mhm.
his daughter. Success. 90s movie ending. 100%.
Well, it takes such a fucking turn, right? Where it's like all these things I'm reading into how
don't
all
think
these
any-
disasters are happening,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's like code and things are telling me, and then it's like, oh well, the world's ending.
I don't think anyone likes to get slapped with something biblical kind of at the end.
Yeah,
I don't think
Yeah.
that's something you kind of got to hand off slowly, because if not, it feels like you're getting blindsided.
also like fuck you.
Yeah,
That's how I felt
100%.
watching it.
What was another movie that was kind of like
The Happening.
that? Yeah, fucking
The
trees.
trees are killing it. Fuck
I
you.
was literally gonna say that before
Yeah.
you even said it. Okay, yeah, we're on the
Fuck
same page.
You and the lady. No, not the lady in the water. The village. Even that.
Walks outside the fence.
Fuck you.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
But I know everything's got to have a twist. I want an M. Night Shyamalan movie where the twist is there's no twist.
It's just ending and it's fucking
It's
dark.
just it's
and
all there.
true.
It's just it's
Sure.
that's the
At
what
this
you
point-
see is what it is.
At this point, how many twists does it take for you to not put a twist in it be the twist?
That's what I'm saying. Right? Like he just did that one movie that just came out,
Think about
and
that.
like everybody was like talking about it. Then they went and saw it, and they went, "Oh, this is terrible." And you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea. What is it?
Exactly. I don't something Cabin in the Woods. I don't fucking know.
No, sure, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, so knowing, duplicity, and I love you, man.
Correct.
I'm gonna go. I love you, man. I'll go knowing. I think it's
Number
maybe,
2?
Yeah, maybe this was before his super downfall, or maybe in the midst of. He might have already been down, actually. Now that I think about it,
It's Nicolas Cage. He's never down, baby.
he's so fucking good. I still haven't seen that new movie with him playing himself, and then duplicity. So I'll do that. So
What?
high to low.
You need to watch it.
I know I haven't seen it with Pedro Pascal. I gotta watch that.
It's
So
amazing.
those are the 3. So
Okay.
I love you, man. Number 1, knowing, and then duplicity. Number 3.
It is number 1, knowing. Number 2, I love you, man, and then duplicity.
Shit.
Weird,
Okay.
right? Also,
Okay.
I just watched Renfield with Nicolas Cage.
Sure.
Where he's Count Dracula.
Yeah.
It was okay. Definitely not the movie I thought it was going to be. It's more.
Is it a comedy?
It's more superhero.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he's a vampire superhero kind of
No,
thing?
like Renfield is his familiar or the guy that takes care of him.
Sure.
He's like a superhero. And then it's fucking weird, man.
Do you think he's just picking batshit roles at this time? No pun intended.
I think he's picking everything that someone gives him.
He's just getting paid.
Yeah. He's just like, what do you got now? Okay.
Sure, I guess.
My balls get blown off. Sure.
Let's talk about a fucking awesome choice of
Prisoners of the Ghostland. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I get it. So yeah, it is what it is for him. So
I think my favorite Nicolas Cage movie is The Rock.
it's gone in 60 seconds.
I was thinking about that when we talked about that the other week, and there's something about him and so Gone in 60 Seconds doesn't have like really a counterpart. Yeah, it doesn't really have a counterpart, but Sean Connery in The Rock,
Yeah.
like him together, and the
You're right,
the
you're
fucking
right.
the prom queen
I do.
thing.
The winter's not done. till
They
you fuck
feed
the
off each
prom
other
queen.
perfectly.
They do, and I love the whole fan idea that is a 007
Sure.
spinoff.
Well, that boils down to Sean Connery was fucking ass fucking all the writers in the original canon for James Bond. After he
True.
got let
Very
go,
true, yeah.
To what was it? Never Say Never. That was a big one. Never say never.
What's your
again.
favorite Sean Connery role?
Red October.
Dragonheart.
Oh,
Yeah.
you always forget he voices that guy.
Mhm.
You always forget that.
A lot of people forget about that movie, and you watch it back and go, "Wow, it doesn't actually look that bad for '96."
That movie's great.
It's amazing.
That movie's great.
Einen.
I remember even watching the second one a couple times
Yeah.
just because I love the first one so
Yeah,
much.
Yeah. Pulls the fucking thing and scale
Yeah.
up. He's got the heart. Yeah.
One of the worst, the antagonist in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've hated too many people that much.
I want to fucking kill that guy.
Yeah, that guy is just a fucking piece of shit.
What else was he in? He was in Dr. Moreau or whatever, fucking Island Dr. Moreau.
Sure. Yeah.
That guy. Fuck that guy.
I think it's really hard to pull off. Now that I think about it, that's great acting because he pulls off a wuss, an entitled person.
It's
just
hard.
Pure evil.
If I hate you,
From a child.
think about this.
It's his whole life he was like that.
If I hate you and I'm watching a movie, you got to be doing something good.
Yeah, I don't think I felt that with too many characters. Like pure hatred for
Right.
people they did a good job.
Now,
He did a great job.
I can know what you do in real life and hate you, and then watch a movie and be like, "Fuck this guy," but he's playing it good, you know.
Yeah.
Like
It's
Chris,
hard to do the opposite
I
of
was
that.
gonna say
though.
like Chris Pratt. I fucking hate him right now, but he's doing
Mario and Guardians of the Galaxy.
good. Right, he's doing good.
We got to watch that. I need to hurry up. I feel like someone's gonna let it loose, and I'm gonna
Oh,
hear
trust
something
me,
I don't want to hear.
I've pushed aside so much.
I'm
to not
trying
watch
so
it, yeah.
hard.
All good. Budget time. What do we think it costs to make I Love You Man? I guess these, so we can
These guys are pretty big.
together. At this time, yeah, I mean, Jason Segel's pretty big. He's doing some other stuff. This is coming off of Forgetting Sarah Marshall too. So
What a great movie. You know they were eating tacos in both movies.
yes, they fish tacos.
Do you like a fish taco?
I don't, but I like
What's your
tacos.
favorite kind of taco? Just a beef. You look
I
like just
like.
a beef guy.
Hold on, I like the fucking chalupa from Taco Bell because it's like a thicker
That's not a-
taco.
That's not a taco. That's
It
not a
is.
taco.
It's a taco,
That's not a taco. It's a chalupa.
but it's a taco. It's the same idea. Okay,
You
all
have
right.
two tacos. You have hard and
All
soft,
right, all right.
baby.
When Taco Bell said, "I got a great idea. Why don't
Sure.
we make a Dorito a fucking taco shell?"
Whoever had that idea, give him $1 million.
Yeah, they had me at hello.
Yeah. Did you do the ranch one too?
Oh yeah, they don't offer it anymore. They
the
had
fuck?
3, right? They had the ranch, they had nacho cheese, and then they had like a spicy one. They don't have it anymore. It's just nacho cheese.
I haven't seen the green Doritos in forever. You remember what those are?
Oh, the jalapeno.
They were so good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I should have messaged you when I was in Canada because they still have them and they have other ones, but they're different. Remember, I messaged you one time before, like there's a black bag in Canada, but it's the purple bag here.
the sweet chili.
Yeah.
Sweet chili's banging.
Wait, no. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I've
Doesn't
given you
matter.
some okay gifts, but one of my favorite ones was the Doritos selection.
The bag of all the Doritos.
yeah, I don't know.
So
There was
you
a
know what?
lot.
Touche.
There was a lot of bags there. That one came from the heart. That one.
I ate them in like 3 days.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So what do you guess? Budget.
I'm gonna go. $58 million.
58 million. All right. I guessed 35.
Okay.
Actual budget 40 million.
Oh, you beat me. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're closer.
Still a lot for a comedy movie.
Sure.
Like what really happens in this movie?
Not a lot to justify a shit ton of money if that's what you're getting at. Yeah.
Unless they had to pay the royalties for Rush.
Ooh.
The Holy Triumphant. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo.
Still, did you ever see them live before
I
Kurt's
did.
passing?
I did.
Ah, I never did.
I saw them at Jiffy Lube, and I will say this. We had seats off all the way to the left.
Sure.
Didn't sound that good. But I
Yeah,
think it was where I was
because
sitting.
you were okay. Yeah, non-directional. You would think if they would have at least 360 degrees of sound if something was like that. You know,
So I've been to Jiffy Lube a couple times.
Jiffy Lube is an auditorium, essentially a
right.
projected auditorium. Yeah.
The times I was there, I was always in the middle. But Rush, we could only get off to the side. I will be there for Ghost, by the way. I'm not bringing that up. It's going to be amazing. But we are all the way off, like literally on the end of the left side to where you just walked out, right?
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
sounded off. And I don't know if it was Geddy Lee was having a bad night or something, but like obviously the music was on point.
Yeah.
But Geddy was just like,
Singing like wild notes out and about kind of thing. Yeah.
instead of, he was just like, I'm like, that's not Geddy
I've
Lee.
always wondered. So I think playing bass and singing is harder than playing guitar and singing.
I would
I'm
agree
pretty
with that
convinced.
because you're percussion,
You're not only percussive, but you're doing individual notation 90% of the time.
and then he's playing piano on top of that.
the fuck?
What a guy!
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Take
Also,
a break. Leave
can-
some
leave
vagina
some-
for the rest of us.
Also, have you seen that nose? He's smelling everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Do you think he's smelling while he's playing? Do you think
my
if you
God.
turn all the lights out, he can navigate a room?
Yeah, I can smell where that door is.
I envision The Last of Us. You know how he's like, it kind of goes like black and white, but you kind of see spots.
Just smell.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, he's over there.
Yeah. Also, best live anything ever. Live
Were
action
you asking
remake.
me? Oh,
No.
Oh,
Me
li-
personally.
I was a little let down when
I
it was
wasn't.
over,
It was so fucking good.
but only like instead of a 10, I give it a 9.8. And hear me out. I wanted more clicker action.
Sure.
Because if you didn't play the games, you didn't understand what they went through with all the clickers or all the fighting and all whatever, right? To get to where they were at the end.
There's certain parts where you struggled in the game, right? Like that point where you're in
Right.
that bar or the restaurant
Mm-hmm.
with Ellie.
Yep.
They honed it on pretty well. But I do get that they couldn't put stuff like that in the whole movie.
I think the reason why is they wanted to do the whole first game in one season because they didn't know how well it would be received, number
Sure.
one, and if they would get a second season.
Do you think they'll do the second season?
Oh, it's already signed.
Oh, did they?
They're already making it. They're going to do
You
it.
and I know.
They're going to do the Last of Us Part 2 in 2 seasons. And that's how I think the first season should have been. I think it should have been up until Joel gets attacked at the hospital.
And then
That should have
cliffhanger
been-
that bitch and then let
That
it go.
should have been it, right?
That would create a lot of suspense. I would have been fine with that.
I think that's how it should have been.
A little
But
more action.
whatever.
So
Too weird.
I was late to the gate with that TV show. You played it. You beat it. You were like, yo, I thought this was great.
Mhm.
Everyone thinks this game is fucking garbage because they're butt hurt and
Last of Us
pussies.
Part 2?
You think they're butt hurt and pussies. It's kind of what you told me in a nutshell. That's not verbatim. I'm not quoting Steve, but that's the vibe I got.
So,
I played it.
Yep.
Pandemic.
Okay.
By myself downstairs. Finally beat it. I thought it was almost more brilliant than the first one.
I agree 100% with that.
Yeah, you can't. People are soft, motherfuckers, man. You're soft.
So here's the thing.
The plot is ingenious, by the way.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead, preach.
Naughty Dog said, I want to make people feel something.
Yo, 100%.
How do we do that? We kill the guy you play as in the first game in the first 20 minutes or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So you're either going to take it one way or the other.
Yeah, be
Fuck
careful.
these motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
Or what the fuck, right?
Yeah. By doing that early on, real quick, and then I'll let you keep
You're
going.
good.
They set you up to feel a certain way throughout the whole thing. You're mildly
Exactly.
conflicted and or angry as fuck. Those are the two different kinds of human beings that played this game up until the
Exactly.
very end.
And then they put you in the shoes of the person that killed the person you care about the most.
Genius.
Right? Now you're
Genius.
upset at that.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like a wrestler who's playing a heel in a fucking city going, this city sucks. You guys smell.
It was so good. It was so good.
Anybody who
By the
thinks,
time you get to hold on, by the time you get to the end,
Yeah.
you've kind of become sympathetic.
that's the whole point of the
So
story.
you don't know at the very end the main conflict and the top part. You don't know what you want.
The conflict is not in the game, it's with you. How
Exactly.
genius of a studio
Yeah,
to make you feel something. Not go, well, it's a video game, cool.
yeah. They didn't sell out. They fucking full
So,
sent. They full
think of
sent the
this.
shit out of that.
Their whole idea was to create this buzz, to create this craziness.
Yeah.
You don't think they're sitting there going, fuck yeah,
Oh yeah.
we did what we wanted.
Oh yeah. I think they're playing the long game.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think they'll pop off another one and it'll be even more.
There's no way they can at this point,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Because
100%.
the TV show was so good.
Yeah.
It garnered it was so HBO right now has come out and said this is the most viewed show we have ever made ever.
And the period of time was it 7 episodes, 8?
I think it was 8 or 9, right?
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
think about that. HBO has been a thing since the 80s.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which I just
Big
learned
notable.
what
Big no-
HBO stands for.
What is that?
Home box office.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that either.
I'm an idiot,
Who did-
right?
Well, we haven't thought about acronyms. Like I've never thought about that.
So
It's
so
obvious.
simple. Right, in
it's
your
very,
face.
It's very obvious.
So when you break it down and go, okay, HBO has been on this long and they've had how many shows, but this is the biggest, and each episode
Is it
garnered
justified?
so much more people. I think it is.
Well, no. So I'm going through shows, right? So you had like Game of Thrones was
Mhm.
HBO.
Mm-hmm.
What was the more huge?
You had
notable?
Rome. You
Yeah.
had what was the Steve Buscemi was in it. It was very big. Boardwalk Empire.
Sure.
That was huge.
Band of Brothers?
Band of Brothers was on HBO.
Right? That was a gigantic one.
That was huge. There's a lot on HBO. That's just the last 15 years,
Sure.
right? Look at before that. I mean, HBO was huge. Real Sex was a huge thing. All this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For this, a video game adaptation that's only 9 episodes to have the most watched thing ever is crazy.
That's awesome.
So how, as your Naughty Dog, not go, guess we're making the 3rd game?
You have to. You have to.
You have to. And let's be real,
yeah. Well, the ending of the second one, I think you could have.
Mhm.
You could have went no, but I have so many good ideas for how you could go yes.
Well,
Let's keep going.
And you don't even have to do it to where it's in the same time frame afterwards. You can go forwards, right?
Sure,
You can
sure.
go to when
Way further.
You can play as Joel when it first outbreaks.
Sure. I think that, and this is the 90s Wally talking, I do want resolve. I don't
Okay.
necessarily need a good ending.
Sure.
I can deal with a fucking shit ending, but
want
maybe her finally getting the opportunity to choose for herself.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like she gets there and she's like not old enough to realize that she's lived her life all the way because that could be
Right.
the conflict. She's like
Sure.
has to make the decision.
Sure.
Maybe she has her own kid.
Oh.
And she's like, do I live for this child or do I fucking let go?
Look
You know
at
what I'm saying?
Look at you.
I could do this for you. Fucking pay me
For
now.
days.
Jesus
We
Christ,
can
Naughty
write this-
Dog.
No,
hire me.
but you're right. Like it has to be a something that's going to make you challenge something, right?
Sure.
So it has
And
to
the
be
doctor's her. The doctor's what's her face. The only person that has general knowledge about it afterwards. She went out and pursued it.
What if the doctor's her daughter?
Even better.
Right? And she goes, "Yo, we've figured out that you're the only person.
That's it.
Let's go."
Dude, we've got it. Sell it. Fucking
Boom.
we'll email tomorrow.
Email him. Not a dog.
Yeah.
I got your idea for 4 and 3 and 5 and 6.
It's genius.
I know what's up. Getting back to what we're here to actually talk about. But we knew when we opened this episode, it's either going to go one of two ways. We're going to get off the rails a lot or not at all.
It's us too. So yeah, probably off the rails.
Right. We should just make a video game podcast at this point.
We've been talking about it for a long time.
We have. We could have just had a Metal Gear Solid episode.
How many games do you think we've beaten in combination? You and I.
1,000 at least.
Probably close.
Yeah.
I might even go a little bit more.
Maybe.
More, a little bit less.
Maybe.
Baby.
How many games have we beaten that we've already beaten?
So how many ones we've beaten more than once?
So how about this?
repeat beats?
Instead of how many games have we beaten in total, or how many games have we beaten a lot?
Oh, I've easily done playthroughs 15, 20 times.
That's what I'm
certain
saying.
Games.
I know for a fact, Metal Gear Solid 2, I've beaten probably 25
Just
times.
Metal Gear Solid series between the two of us.
150.
A lot.
Let's be real.
A lot. If you do five of them,
Portable Ops, I probably beat 25 times.
if you
too.
ask me to look, I've never been a speed runner. I appreciate it, but if you said speed run the fifth one or the first one with no cheese, I could probably be top tier.
1, 2, and 3, I bet you I could get through as fast as anybody. But I don't want to, but I could. You know what I mean?
We should have a competition.
Ooh, side by side.
I don't think I'd beat you at 3. I think we'd be close at 2, and
Yeah.
1 I'd think I'd win.
Peter Stillman.
4, there's just
What?
4. I have to watch cinematics. I cannot not watch cinematics.
So
on that
it's
shit.
hard too, right? Because you can't play that game but on a PS3.
Yep.
You can't emulate it. There's nowhere that can emulate it perfectly with a great frame rate, and it's crazy because PS3 went, fuck it, this is how we're going to make our games, and you fucking suck. And a lot of people threw away their code when they made those games, so you can't
Yeah.
even try to emulate it. It's wild. Also, people are like, well, Sony could just emulate it, but why would they? How much money are you going to
Is
get?
5 canon for you? Do you consider it just because he wrote it?
Yeah, 5's canon, but
I'm at the point where I think I played it a third time. I've only
Mhm.
beat that through maybe it was the fourth time, but I think it was the third time where I played through it and I was like, I don't feel like this is him. I had like a
it's
epiphany where I
Kiefer.
was
It's
like,
Kiefer that kills me.
it wasn't even that. I think it was the story felt
You're
like
pretty good.
the story felt like it was fake and it was pushed at certain points. And that's
Well-
hard to feel considering how obscene
Right,
all the
right,
other
right.
fucking games are. Yeah.
No, I think the problem with 5 that I
Roll on it,
have
baby.
is that you're right. It feels tacked on and unnecessary,
Sure. Is it-
and also it's sterile, and I like the taste.
yeah, I fucking thank God you finished.
No, it feels because it was unfinished. It felt like it was rushed. Now, 5 has the best gameplay of any game I've ever played in my life, ever.
Sure.
But the story's lacking.
The depth of 5 is fucking crazy.
It is. But the story's lacking, right? So that makes it not as good, right?
Yeah.
But I want to play that game, but with Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3's story. Or fucking Metal Gear Solid 1's story.
2's a fucking groundbreaking, that end with the AI.
For the time, goddamn boy.
I don't think there's anything like more relatable.
No.
You know, at this
No,
point in time, if no one knows about this, you're listening to this podcast, just go watch a YouTube video of the end.
This is the only question you need to know. Is Rose real or fake?
Dude, it's as soon as fucking the Colonel pops up, obviously you know.
Scissor
kind
66.
And the fucking shit he says, and he starts turning into a skull, and you're half naked running
and
around.
you can zoom in on it. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's dope. No one else knows about any of this. There's like fucking a handful of people.
bandana. Sorry, I'm making my life bigger. Whatever the name word. Yeah. Okay, back to. I love you, man. Box office. What do we think it made in theaters?
More than that? So I would go. I'll go 100.
100 million.
That's high.
I went 190 million.
Oh, you went high.
I went fucking big.
Go
I
big or
swung
go home,
for
baby.
I swung for the fences because I was like, yo, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel.
Sure.
At this point, I felt like this movie was huge. Opening weekend, 17.8.
Okay, it's not bad.
Overall, 92.3.
Okay, I was close. I don't win one. I don't win a lot, but
That's still a lot for a comedy movie.
Yeah.
Right?
And you said this was
March 20th.
Sure, that's right before season kickoff. You know, like it's right before summertime season kickoff.
I would not be mad at that if I was the studio, but also, come on, guys.
But this is another one that's kind of just it got bigger as time went.
It did.
For me, at least.
Yeah, this is a rewatch movie now. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll click on it.
Yeah, or if it's on TBS, fuck,
Sure.
this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know? Slapping the bass, man.
Slapping the bass.
What are you doing? I'm slapping the bass. So what do you guys do when you hang out? Like, we just we jam. That whole scene is so good. When they like stop and look at each other, and it's like, blah, 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 blah.
It's perfect. It's
really
fucking perfect.
Tomatometer time. The Rotten Tomatoes score. The Roddy T's. What do we think critics and audience gave it out of 100%?
I'm gonna go 68 down the middle, both.
Okay. Steve gave it 70 for critics and 80 for audience.
Sure.
Critics, 83.
Oh damn.
Audience, 74.
It's up there.
Critics like this more than the audience.
That's a rare occurrence.
That's a rarity unless it's like a drama movie. I don't get it. I mean, great scores, sure, but the audience should love this movie more than the critics.
Is the audience end all be all?
I would
Or
think.
do you think people are fucking stupid?
Well, so you got those people who are just like, I fucking hate this movie. 0,
Yeah.
So
Shit.
it's hard. I always think IMDb's the best tell. I forgot to look at IMDb's score. Pull it up, Wally.
If you want to keep going, I'll find.
Pull it up. I feel like it's probably like a 7.8.
A 7.
7, just straight 7. No, it's probably 7.8. But every time we do these, IMDb is always right where I am, mostly.
Where do you find it?
Right
Normally?
at the top of... Well, you're on trivia. Go back one.
Let's say you know this more than I do.
Right at the tip.
I love you, man.
Right at the tap. The tippity tap.
7.
7. Look at that. 7.
7. 211,000 people
That's a lot.
voted. So
That's a lot.
that seems pretty healthy for me.
Who's your favorite character in this movie?
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so favorite character. I am going to have to go Reno 911 guy. The smells like cigarettes guy is the same dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious.
You know what? Because he
It's
doesn't seem gay, right? And
No,
then he
no,
goes
no.
in for the kiss.
It's perfectly acted.
Yeah, it really is.
It's perfectly the surprise on Rudd's face when
Yep.
it happens.
And then he's just like, he doesn't like freak out.
No.
He's just
I
like,
feel
"Oh,
like that was the most appropriate reaction to what just happened. If you're
Yeah.
completely oblivious, right? If you
would-
see it coming, maybe
Sure,
different. But
sure.
completely oblivious. If I went out on a fucking cool trip with a dude, which was a date that I didn't know about.
Right. Yeah, you'd be like,
I would be like, hey.
sorry, hey.
Have fun.
Right. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah. And then,
I'm good.
Then he goes home and it smells like his wife kisses him.
Right.
You just taste like an ashtray or whatever she said.
My favorite character is his brother, Andy Samberg.
Andy
Yeah,
Samberg.
because he doesn't feel like the character when you think about it, right? Like he's a
No.
a gym head and
Yeah.
he's gay, but he doesn't look gay. He doesn't act gay, but he is gay.
I think that's how it is. More than we see it. I think we tend to see people that are more gay
More
because they're more gay.
gay. Okay, I got
Doesn't mean there's more of them.
Well,
I
and
think,
I'm not saying because he doesn't look gay, but I think
there's
it's
more
funny because
average Joes that just like
Sure.
penis.
Yeah, and then his friend in the movie, get everything you got, Joe Trulio or whatever. They then make Brooklyn 999, right?
Is
So-
that right out the door? This
Yeah, so like that's
one
kind
of
of
the shows
cool.
I haven't
that
watched, dude. It
you would
looks
like it.
hilarious.
You would like
it.
it.
Looks hilarious.
They're the best character I've seen in a long time is their captain.
Yeah. He's like really like stoic almost.
Yeah,
but
but it's hilarious.
I've seen clips. That's
Yeah,
the only thing I've seen.
you
is
need,
clips.
you need to watch it. Favorite part of scene?
Favorite part or scene? I'd have to say the dog walk into where they're under the pier. I think that's all the same scene. I'm trying to remember. I didn't actually watch this movie, but I've seen it enough times. The part where he's walking the dog and he shits on
Right.
the sidewalk. Yeah, and he just comes at him screaming. It's how
That is
much
funny.
of a
That is funny.
fucking wacky character Jason Segel is. It's
Yeah.
just it's hilarious. No holds bar.
Right. I think my favorite scene.
When logic takes over and it's like you're so beyond social acceptance,
Right.
logic just went flying past it, kind
You're
of thing.
right, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
My favorite scene is definitely the first like open house that he has in Lou Ferrigno's house. And when he
It's
meets Sydney,
hilarious. Yeah.
and it's just like, wow, you're the only guy that has like sandwiches and stuff. Like this is, whatever. And then the whole part, like, look, man, that's a fucking fart. Like,
It's a fucking fart. Yeah, smells like a fart too.
it's funny. Like
It's
that
hilarious.
whole scene,
He's like, I just come here to hang out and
meet
do the hors d'oeuvres.
right, meet divorced women. The Rush concert's great as well when they actually go there, but they're jamming, and that's when she finally like
It's all
what
middle-aged
is
guys.
yeah, what's actually going on here? These dudes are like making out with each other almost, and then he's on top of him, like on his shoulders and
Yeah.
shit.
It's hilarious.
That's funny. And then them jamming too in like Sydney's, I guess, man cave, whatever.
This had some heartfelt shit too.
It
Like,
really did. It really did.
the billboard shit. It was great. I thought this
That's
movie
funny.
was great, man.
Fucking funny, that billboard. We didn't even talk about the scene where he like tries to hang out with his wife's friend's husband and all that.
Oh yeah,
And then he just throws up everywhere. That's funny. And then he sees him later, and like Jon Favreau plays it perfectly, where he's just like, "Fuck this guy! I don't even want to hang out with him."
I forgot too. This was all prompted because they wanted a best man. I
Right.
completely forgot about that till just now.
Well, yeah, and that was
It's
the thing.
been so
Like,
long since I've
who's
seen
going to
it.
be your best man? And he's like, I got nobody. Right?
Yeah.
And that sucks, but at the same time, like, whatever.
Steve put up a picture the other day. That was Steve's best man. He'll
You
be
like
mine
that?
when it happens.
All right.
But there's a picture of me getting. So Steve's dad came up to me, right, the day of Steve's wedding.
The day of my daughter's wedding.
The day of Steve's wedding, and he was like, had some really dope whiskey, and Steve was already a shot in, and I was like, let's just keep this train fucking rolling.
Let's go.
Let's just keep this rolling. And halfway through the drive there, I had to piss on the side of the road. Steve was shithoused. We
Good
planned
time.
it to where he
Good
was going to
time.
be kind of sober by the time you were walking down, I think.
I remember. So I wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah. Well, I think we planned it
Hold
perfectly.
on. We were in the back room because we did this at a church.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Remember
yeah,
this? We're in the back room, and the fucking priest comes up and he's like, "Hey, no funny business, guys." Walks out.
There's no way I'm not going to do
when
some
you
stupid
tell
shit.
me no funny business, I'm looking around going, "Well, it's funny business season."
I probably would have not done funny business.
Right? Why are you gonna tell me?
Yeah,
Why are you
and
gonna
he
challenge
told
it?
me. Yeah. There's
Anyways.
no way.
So we're looking around.
He said he'll kick us out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, he didn't.
No. What are you gonna
What are
do?
you gonna do? We paid this. We're
Yeah,
here.
what are you gonna do?
Anyways, I remember looking around and like seeing a fridge, and we opened the fridge, and there's a bag of Jesus cookies.
We started eating.
We fucking opened those bitches up like Doritos, and we're just throwing them back. Come on,
Oh yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
It's perfect.
And then what'd you do? You put the ring in your shoe.
So it was G rated. It wasn't anything
Yeah, it wasn't-
crazy
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm terrified of your wife. So it was funny because during the ceremony you stand there and Steve's doing his thing, Tiffany's doing his thing, and they're like, "Hey, we need the ring."
Yep.
And I remember going, I was like, "I'm not gonna go for this directly." So I start unbuttoning like shit, and
Where's the ring?
I unbuttoned like a little part down here, and I was like, "Okay, I think I know what this is." I take my shoe out. It was the best. It was the best show.
good.
That
It was
everyone was
good.
laughing their asses off.
Yeah, and I looked at the priest, and I remember him going like, "Fuck is going on here?" I said,
Fuck
"You
that
shut
guy.
You shut your
Fuck that.
fucking mouth.
Fuck that guy.
God's watching." Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, he's
He's about
not.
to get Jesus punched.
Better get Jesus to put you on
Heels
that
to
cross.
Jesus. Wait, that's a different.
What?
Would you dip Jesus crackers in salsa and eat it?
Oh my God, yes.
I know, right?
You know
I
what?
was thinking,
To be fair,
what is it made out of?
it's bread.
Not anymore. It's not. Supposedly it changes.
It changes to the body of Christ,
Yeah, well, money is
and it's pretty salty.
crispy.
Right, so that salsa is pretty good on it. Look, hold on.
Is
When
this
we went-
blasphemous right
I
now? I'm
don't
pretty
give a
sure this
fuck.
is blasphemous.
When we went home, we went on vacation. We went to Canada, me and my wife. There's a place in Toronto called Italy. There's only 2 of these locations in the world. One's in Italy and one's in Toronto. It's called Eat-Ali, right?
Like EAT.
Right.
Sure,
and
sure.
it's like the biggest like fucking it's a shopping center basically, but it's all based around Italy and Italian and whatnot and pasta.
Sure.
We found some Jesus cookies.
How do you don't define Jesus cookies?
Okay,
Steve?
they're there. They're upstairs.
Oh, no.
We're gonna dip some in
Okay,
some
okay,
salsa
okay.
later.
You have Jesus cookies upstairs?
I don't know if they're actual Jesus cookies, but they're made to look like
I always
a
thought they were
fucking
just look like
medallion.
sand dollars.
Yeah, they're a medallion with a fucking insignia on it. We got them.
Do you think they taste
We're gonna find out.
worse or better because they're Jesus?
They have to be
Cookies.
blessed, right?
Sure.
I bless thee.
I almost
Done.
said blessed like a blessed by a rabbi.
That'd be a good.
Are these kosher Jesus
Are these
cookies?
kosher?
Everyone's listening to me like going, "What the fuck?"
New band, blessed by a rabbi.
Blessed Jesus cookies.
No, just blessed by a rabbi. That's the band name.
That's
Just
good. It's a metal band.
Yep, blessed
But
by a
we
rabbi.
only play Catholic sermons.
Oh my god,
You know,
I'm here for
Christian sermons.
it. All right. Any what the fuck moments for you in this movie? If you can remember.
There's a lot of good ones
There is.
actually.
There is.
I think
There's a fucking fart.
yeah, I think my favorite. I talked about it earlier, but the jerk off station one is like seared
Yeah,
into
and it
my
comes out of
brain.
nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got like it. You look at the table; it's
Yeah.
all jerk off
Yep.
stuff,
Yep.
like material. It's perfect. And Paul Rudd's face was like, "Oh, he's just trying to make a friend.
Right.
That's all he cares about."
Oh,
like,
what's,
okay.
what's going on over there? Yeah, I think the Lou Ferrigno whole thing, like the Hulk, that's kind of what the fuck.
It
Like,
is.
yeah,
I think it's a cool what the fuck though.
It
I think
is.
it's there to be a what the fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is a what the fuck. Because, like, he's trying to sell his house, but he can't. And then he needs that dude's fucking help, but then he doesn't and all this shit. So, I mean, it makes sense in the story of the movie.
Yeah.
But it is a what the fuck.
It's definitely a what the fuck. Like, why is the Hulk here?
Also, my biggest what the fuck is him just letting his dog shit on the sidewalk. Let's be real for a second. Bro, that's not cool.
It's not. It's really not. But it's so fucking
It's-
funny.
It's funny, but pick up after your dog. Like, Anwar Sadat does not need
Would
to
you-
be shitting on. What?
If he shit in the sand, would you pick it up too? I feel like you'd pick it up.
You have to.
It's a public beach. You'd
exactly.
pick it up.
You pick it up.
I think
It's
that's
not-
where you and I are different.
You wouldn't pick it up?
I think I'd bury it.
Oh, all right.
I'd still be conscious of like I don't want someone finding this or
Okay.
stepping in it.
So
But
depending
I would stomp the turd into the ground.
So
or-
I know my dog, right?
Sure.
If I take him for a walk, he's got 2 in the chamber.
Is it a little dog
It
thing?
must be.
Because Benny's the same way.
Yeah, he ready to go.
He shits the first time, and
Yep.
I try to tell anyone that's taking him out, no, he's not done.
Right. He got more.
Yeah, he's got a second one.
So
He's double barrel.
if I'm going somewhere and he's already shit twice and then he lets another one go, sorry, I'm tapped out. I got no fucking bags left.
Sure,
I'm burying it.
sure,
Right. And the same. Now, if it's on the sidewalk, hey, sorry, let's find something to pick it up.
sure.
But
That's reasonable.
yeah, in the sand, it's kitty
Yeah.
litter. It's fine.
Yeah, no,
Just
I agree.
fucking-
I agree with that. I don't like leaving a turd.
No. I mean,
I don't.
hey,
I guess it depends on where it's at. But I really don't. If it's somewhere that someone's gonna step in it, I feel bad because I've stepped in a
Touche.
dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No
Everybody-
one likes that.
everyone's
Actually-
gone what the fuck?
You're at least out for like a couple, like 15 minutes to a few hours, depending on the severity of the shit.
Exactly, right.
Yeah,
And you can
no one
tell
wants that.
if it's a nice, good one, all right. But if it's like that end where it's like still being made into shit, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Where
yeah.
it's like at the end,
Yeah,
We're
it's not
burying
good.
that. We're
No,
burying that.
That's fuck. That shit sucks.
That does suck. Speaking of the fun facts of the fucking week.
Is that a bobcat?
It's actually,
Yeah,
I don't know.
you
It
know
was
what kind of cat?
It
that
was
is?
it was from the intro of a wrestling theme. I think it's a cougar.
Ah.
It's definitely a cougar. The billboard with Peter in bed was extracted from Paul Rudd's 2006 Rolling Stone photo shoot.
Oh shit.
It's a good one.
That's dope.
It's funny. I like it. Sydney's dog is named after Anwar Sadat, the Egyptian president who was murdered in 1981. Following the movie's release, one of Sadat's daughters sued the producers because comparing a human to a dog is a serious insult in Egyptian culture. The lawyer representing Sadat's daughter requested a formal apology from the U.S. Embassy in Egypt, which never came.
Oh shit.
That's fucking wild.
That is wild. That's super fucking wild.
The embassy needed to, hey, we need an apology for this movie. Sorry. No.
That's so weird.
Also, we don't give a fuck.
Can I give you one?
Give me
and you
one.
can tell me if you've had it.
Give me
right?
one.
I saw this one earlier while I was reading. When Paul Rudd is in Sydney's man cave, he sees a photo. Wait, hold on. It's the drum set. The
Mhm.
drum set that's in his thing is Keith Moon's drum set. The Who,
It's
right? Keith Moon is the Who,
Mhm.
right? Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure Keith Moon is the Who. Look,
Is it
I'm a
Led
musician. I might fuck this up every once in a while, but I'm fascinated with drummers. Maybe why I'm best friends with Steve.
Hey, what up?
But he has a way of playing with his left foot.
He
That
does.
was fucking fantastic.
does.
He didn't have hi-hats.
Right. It's
Yeah,
wild when you think
it's
about
fucking
it.
crazy, man. Or didn't have like a foot pedal for
He also has like this weird like,
Yeah, it was
way he
just
plays,
fucking
yeah.
crazy the way he played.
it's good. I didn't have that one. I have this one though. Lou Ferrigno, who stars as himself, was almost seated next to Sadat at an event the day of his assassination in 1981.
Wow.
That's fucking crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
all
something going on
coming
there?
together. Maybe that's why they put it in the movie.
When was the date of that? What was the date of that?
1981.
Maybe. It's getting kind of weird now.
Jason Segel and Paul Rudd reprised their roles in a video shown on Rush's Time Machine tour. The duo managed to get backstage and meet the band after the performance.
Are they fans? They're fans.
There's
They
no way
have
they're
to be
not.
their
I mean, you
fans.
don't put this in the movie if you're not.
Yeah. They have
Right.
to be fans.
Slap it the bass,
Does he
man.
really play bass? I think he kind of plays a little
I
bit.
mean, so when you look at it,
He
he
had to have
looks
taken a few
like
lessons.
he looks like he's kind of playing. Jason Segel looks like he's kind of playing.
Yeah.
There's one thing okay. This bothers me. So there's a wrestler.
Sure.
Okay. Why am I blanking on his name before I even try to say it?
It's all right. That's like my life, so it's
beating
okay.
the shit out of me right now. Fucking the last outlaw, fucking Jeff Jarrett is his
Sure,
name.
there you go.
His whole persona
Facade.
is smashing a fucking acoustic guitar on people's heads.
Sure, that sounds dope.
He can't play the guitar.
Maybe that's why.
I don't fucking care. If you're going to be the last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett, and your whole persona for the last 20 years is you're this like country music star who just beats people up with a guitar, at least learn a G chord.
I saw The Rock play guitar.
Yeah,
and sing a
and
song
it was
in
terrible.
wrestling. It was horrible.
Right, but he tried, and he kind of fucking played. This
Yeah.
guy, no.
Not at all. Not even
Not
a
at
little
all.
bit.
There was a thing I saw the other day, so he's in AEW now, which that's what I'm watching. And like they did this little like snippet, and like he's like trying to play the guitar, and he's just doing that thing where when you don't
It's
know how to play guitar,
all fake
you're
shit.
just holding it.
You look
and just throwing-
uncomfortable as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guy.
Notable actor musicians.
I mean,
Banjo player.
I was gonna say Rocket Raccoon.
Okay.
Why can't I think of his name?
Steven plays banjo. Was in I Married Something. Hold on. It's not Steve Carroll. What the fuck is his name? Hold on. Keep going. Keep going,
I
Steve.
have no idea.
I'll
what
have it
you're
here in a
talking
sec.
about. Obviously, Lady Gaga is. You could say that. I mean,
Yeah. Well, that's he went one to the other. Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton,
What does he play?
guitar,
I thought he played harmonica.
or that, probably both. There's a guy who's really good at guitar. Why can't I think of his name? I don't know. Blues Traveler.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
God
Steve
damn it.
Martin. Yeah. Steve
Yeah,
Martin's
yeah.
great. I love
He
Steve
has his
Martin.
own band. He had
Yeah.
a Tiny Desk show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father of the
dope.
Bride.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's what I was looking for. I couldn't fucking
Part
think
1,
of it.
Part 2, Part 3.
I knew it was Steve, but I couldn't think of his fucking last name.
God,
Super
Steve.
good. Super good.
This movie was originally titled Let's Make Friends.
Nah.
I know, right?
Nah,
I don't.
I Love You Man is perfect.
I don't
for
think
this.
Let's Make Friends would have been good.
No, I Love You Man just is perfect.
It is perfect.
I don't know why, but it is.
It is.
I can't explain it.
Final decision time out of 10. What would you give I Love You Man?
This movie's great. This is hilarious. I would probably let this fall maybe a little under where Wedding Crashers would have been for me.
Oh, okay.
So it's not quite classic enough to be like second or third, but it sits right after that. I would say this probably sits at like a 6, 9, or a 7 for me.
7.
Yeah.
So you're going with the IMDb score. 7.
Sure, yeah. I
got
think it's
you.
viable.
I'm at an 8.
It's good.
Hear me out.
Sure.
This movie kind of sits in an emotional spot for me with my life.
Sure. Wait, why?
Because-
Explain.
So
We're getting deep here on the
we're
Best
getting
Friend podcast.
we're getting deep. This is why. Best friends. This movie I watched first with my best friend.
Sure.
Well, we're hanging being best friends, right?
Yeah.
So this movie gets an extra point for being personal to me.
And sentimental. Sure.
Right?
I'm in. Yeah,
And I'm reviewing this movie with my best friend.
this is oddly appropriate.
Oh, look at that.
It's like he did it on purpose.
Maybe.
It's like I was trying to explain
Oh.
this man's character.
Maybe. So I just feel like I feel attached to this movie. So like anytime this movie comes on or anytime I see it, I automatically think of my best friend Wally.
It feels very similar. There's so many goddamn parallels in
Right.
this goddamn movie.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that movie gets an extra point. So I'm at a 7, but also I give it an extra point because of that. Right.
Sure.
So, but also it's, to me, one of the best kind of comedy movies that have come out in the last like 15, 20 years.
Sure.
Like think about where you're at and what goes on with the movie. And it feels kind of real too, right? Like with some of the stuff and how we talked about earlier with like his fiance getting kind of jealous about like their relationship and like, wait a second, I wanted you to be friends, but now you're almost too good of friends.
Yeah.
And now you're hanging out all the time.
I
and
think
you're taking away
everyone's
from
kind
me.
of been there.
Right.
A little bit,
so
you know?
it feels real. There's not a lot of movies that do that,
Sure.
or touch on that subject. So I kind of like that. And then obviously everything come together at the end.
What a big. I mean, there's always comedy duos, but not a lot of them that are do like the full on friend. This is a movie about being friends.
Right.
What movies do
you
that?
have buddy cop movies.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have buddy action movies, but you don't have
Brother
like just
movie.
a bro movie, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's broing out.
Would you say this is the equivalent to like Lethal Weapon as an action movie is to a comedy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that. Two
I'm trying to draw
opposites.
parallels like in
Well, don't
different
think
genres.
about it. Two opposite guys coming together and being
Yeah,
friends, or two like people who
Exactly.
shouldn't be friends are friends, or two people that are being forced together almost. Like they're not being forced,
Exactly.
but he's having to find a best man and then doing what he needs to do. So ipso facto,
It's kind of maybe even a Rush Hour.
yeah.
I know it's hard to draw that parallel.
Come on, Lee.
Yeah, but maybe even one of those. You know?
Come
what I mean?
on, Sydney.
What
Pistol.
So Steve, you're at
What?
you're at a 7
I'm an
or
8.
8.
I'm an 8.
You're at an 8.
Yeah.
That's a high fucking score for
It's
a
a
comedy
very
movie,
it's a
dude.
very high score for me. I don't give out 8s or higher a lot.
No. I feel like this was kind of on. So the precipice is
Mm.
Steve likes to over enunciate because it's
The
a fucking
precipice.
difficult word to say.
It's hard.
I just experienced that. But there's a point in comedy for us in
Mhm.
our era, our generation, and right around this time, I think it maybe peaked
Yeah.
and then it started dropping off.
I agree
a
with
couple
you
years
because like Pineapple
afterwards.
Express and all those came
Yeah.
out here, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we don't know what else to make, or everybody's being canceled and we don't know what to
Exactly.
make fun of, and so you don't have comedy like this anymore.
Yeah, I think exactly.
But this movie in particular, you could make today. I don't think there's
Sure.
anything in it that's bad.
No, I feel like this would be an Adam Sandler movie, like a Netflix Adam Sandler movie.
yeah,
at
I
this
agree
point,
with that, and
with a little bit more heart and soul. but
Yeah, not in a bad way, but who's the other guy?
I have no idea.
Not David Spade.
I don't know what modern characters I'd put with any with. I can't think of it.
Well, so if it's an Adam Sandler movie, Adam Sandler is Paul Rudd, right?
Sure,
So then who's the other guy
he's never had a counterpart that I can think of.
other than Rob Schneider? You can do it. I don't.
He's not. There's been few comedy duos, but if you're gonna count, it's like Spade and Farley was a huge duo, but that was like a specific kind of best
right,
friend duo.
exactly.
And they weren't even friends in the beginning.
No, they hated each
Black
other.
Sheep or Tommy Boy? Go.
Tommy Boy, 100%.
Yes, right.
Black
She
Sheep's
quote
not
the
a.
whole fucking movie.
So the medic gets out and goes, "Oh my god."
Black Sheep has my favorite slapstick comedy moment of all time.
Is that where he
Falls down the hill and he just keeps falling.
That's
and
funny.
It doesn't stop.
But Tommy Boy is just
Straight to my funny bone.
every part of that movie is so quotable, right?
Oh, 100%.
You know, like
Dialogue's great.
yeah, like
He's just a fucking misfit kid trying to get his shit together. Press his dad.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's heartfelt too, right?
It
Like,
really
I
is.
honestly don't know why we haven't
Gain
covered that
acceptance
on
of his
here
father.
yet. It's probably coming soon. Maybe we'll have
Even though his
some.
dad's dead.
We might have some. Well, he's dead too. We might have some extracurriculars
you know what I
on
meant.
that episode, probably because it deserves to have extra people on to
Sure.
review that. So maybe that's why. But next week, everybody's going to be back. Possibly. I know Tara's going to be here. She couldn't be here
Sure.
today. She was sick. Randy's being a little bitch. He ain't here, so it's fine. Hopefully next week everybody will be here. We're going to actually review a movie that Tara picked for this week, but it didn't end up working out. We're going to do Almost Famous, which
It's a great movie.
look, I watched it for the first time yesterday.
Which is crazy to me.
I know, I can't-
baffling
yeah.
the fact that that's one you haven't seen.
I
but-
can't wait to talk about it. How about that?
Ah, it's so
It's
good.
Billy,
It's
Billy-
poetic.
Billy Cundiff fucking with the blue dick. What? If you knew what we're talking about, you would know. It's fine.
Pay attention to the episodes.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Anyways, so hey, anybody who's watching or listening still, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on our social medias at The Decision Reel, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever the fuck you want to find us. We're there. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, we're there as well. YouTube, like I just said, like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one.
High five, buddy.
High five. Peace out.
Later. I gotta fart.